Hello and welcome to Michael's Sports Minute Special. I'll be your host for the Sports Minute Special, Michael McKenzie, and we'll be breaking down each AFC playoff contending team, and we'll also be breaking down the teams that have clinched their spot, have clinched their divisions, and are going to be in the playoffs. First, we'll start off with the number one, with the New England Patriots. The New England Patriots are in that spot to clinch the number one seed with a win over the New York Jets in the final week of the season. And with so, they would clinch a number one seed in the AFC playoffs, which would be very good for the franchise. And it would also be very good for the team because that would make the playoffs go through New England once again. And when the playoffs go through New England, many people, fans, they know exactly what happens. New England just cruises to the Super Bowl. So the New England Patriots right now in a good position. They win, and they're the number one seed with a first-round bye. They already have it, but they could be in a good position to have home field advantage for the rest of the playoffs. Now we move on to the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Pittsburgh Steelers have had a very great season in terms of record and the way they've played. They've come from behind quite a bit, but who cares really if they've come from behind a bit. They've overcome some things, an Antonio Brown injury, the James Conner injury, and most people don't think that's much of an injury, and I'm with those people. But here's the thing. The Steelers now only have two running backs on the roster, and it's Le'Veon Bell and Fitzgerald Toussaint, and many people are aware of Le'Veon Bell's injury history, so they have clinched their first round bye, and with a win over the Browns and a Patriots loss, the Steelers would clinch a home field advantage for the entire playoffs. So, and a story with the Steelers and the Pats. Of course, we all know that the Steelers released James Harrison. James Harrison is set to meet with the Patriots, and they are expected to sign him. So if those two teams would meet, what a matchup that would be. So those are the first two first round bye teams. Now we move on to the third seeded Jacksonville Jaguars, who have been a surprise team clinching the AFC West, and they will have home field for the wild card game, most likely at the number 3 seed. So the Jaguars this week, to do so and clinch that number 3 seed, would have to beat the Tennessee Titans, who are also in the playoff hunt. We'll break them down a little bit later. So the Jaguars, again, an unexpected team. They did have a huge win over first round by Pittsburgh Steelers. So, the Jacksonville Jaguars can hang with those top tier teams. So that's why the Jaguars are a team to be not to be overshadowed, to overlook them. They're definitely going to make their name known here in the playoffs. So expect them to be one of those teams, one of those surprise 3 teams who actually make a statement. Now we'll move on to the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs had a great start to the season. We were expecting them to be a good team this season, but not a team that started out 5-0. But now the Chiefs, after starting out 5-0, they lost to the Steelers, their first loss of the season, and it's been a downfall for the Chiefs at that point. They're now 9-6, winning 4 games after starting out 5-0. They're 9-6 now, but clinching the AFC West. The Chiefs are likely to get that 4 spot. So the Chiefs in the 4 spot are going to likely play the 5 spot. So we'll break down who this 5 spot could be. 4 teams in that 5 and 6 spot. Now we'll move on to that first team who's in that 5 spot right now, expected to be staying in that 5 spot and getting into the playoffs, playing the Chiefs in the wild card round. The Baltimore Ravens. The Ravens coming off a win against the Colts. Not so much of an impressive win. You could maybe say that, but still, they got the Bengals this week that would clinch their 5 spot, and an undermined start of the season for them, and they have had a great sort of end and middle of the season. So with the Ravens being in that spot, a good spot, honestly. So Ravens in a good spot again to get that number 5 spot. Now we'll move on to the 6th spot. First, we'll start out with who is in that number 6 spot at this point. The Tennessee Titans. The Titans, they have the Jaguars this week, so teams behind the Jaguars and teams behind the Titans, I should say, break them down. That you guys have a pretty good chance at getting in. All you have to do is win those games, because the Titans haven't had the best of luck with those top tier teams. Titans 8-7, and the top team, the highest team they played this year, they've played the Jaguars already this season, didn't come out on top, but they have played the Steelers Thursday night prime time, had a chance, national television, had a chance to make a name for themselves, and they really just couldn't come out on top. So I don't expect this game to be any different. So teams behind the Titans, will break them down right now. Here is your opportunity. We move on to the Los Angeles Chargers this week. The Chargers have the Oakland Raiders, 8-7 Chargers. The Chargers, another surprise team. They started out 1-4, 0-4 with the Browns. They got a win over the Giants, and the Chargers season just took off. They had a pristine opportunity. They had a great opportunity to clinch that AFC West, but they just couldn't do it. But their wild card sites are not far behind them. They are not far behind them. They could be in front of them, that they have a shot, because they are playing the Raiders. The Raiders 6-9. So that could be a great opportunity for the Los Angeles Chargers to get a wild card spot and be one of the most surprise playoff teams in recent history. Now we move on to our final playoff team, the Buffalo Bills. The Bills coming off, they had a very close game, very contested game against the New England Patriots. It looked like, wow, they might actually beat the Patriots, and Steelers fans and fans pretty much anywhere, oh my gosh, what a great upset. Patriots pulled away late. The Bills have the Dolphins 6-9 this week, so the Bills have a great opportunity, but it's going to have to come down to maybe tiebreakers between the Bills, the Chargers, and possibly the Titans if they could pull off the upset against the Los Angeles against the Jacksonville Jaguars. But of course, we cannot forget about the Ravens. They lose to the Bengals. The Bengals, not a great team, but the Bengals still have a chance to make noise. All 4 of these teams lose. It ends up the way it is, but a lot of chaos could come in those 5 and 6 spots in the AFC. So thank you so much for watching this video. Like, share, and subscribe for more Michael Sports Minutes, more specials, more video games, and see you in the next video.